Hello everybody, and welcome back. Today's episode, we're here in Ruins of Varsoon because a little bit back, I don't know if you recall, we picked up part 1 and part 2 of The Blood of the Bear. Now there is a part 3, and that is actually in the Ruins of Varsoon. So we'll be picking the part 3 up while we're in here. But we're going to start with part 1 today. I have never run these quests from these books, so I'm not sure what we're in for. So this is going to be new for both of us. Blood of the Bear, Part 1. This book relates a legend of the Northmen and how they defeated the invading hordes of Inferno during the Age of War. In the time of growth, when the birds return to the trees and the sun rises higher in the sky, the children of the Northlands look to the awakening of the bears as the final signal that growth is upon them. Hungry from their long sleep, the bears come closer to the villages and towns. Therefore, each village has a family whose duty it is to ensure that the bears do not come into the village and threaten them. Now, the first task for this quest is going to be to kill 8 clay guardians, and those are quite a ways into the dungeon. We should be hitting these guardians here. There's one right there. Having quite a bit of lag, or I was, so I turned on this, which shows my frames per second and such. But I'm going to go ahead and shut that off because that's distracting to me and I don't want to know, to be honest. Should have grabbed this guy. Try to pull more than one. I think we can handle that. Oh, nice. Yeah, there we go. One day, a young woman named Kiva went into the forest to gather some firewood. As she turned to head home, her foot slipped on a patch of ice and she stumbled, scattering the firewood across the snow. And before she could stand again, a large hand reached toward her and she gasped, staring upward at the tallest man she had ever seen in her life. All right, now we need to get 7. So let's see if there's any down this way. Oh, there's two right here. Perfect. Alright, let's head towards the front. There's one here. I did not mean to frighten you, he said, his rich voice lilting with an odd tone Kiva had never heard before. He pulled her easily to her feet and helped gather the scattered wood. He carried the wood for her to the edge of her camp and smiled at her. Who are you? She asked. My name is Benno, he replied. Glad to be of service. He bowed low and then slipped away into the woods as silently as he had appeared. Okay, so now we have to kill 4 enchanted clays. Now, to make things quicker, we're just going to try to find them in here. Okay, okay, I know exactly where they are. We need to go this way. This is going to be a little tricky. There's a lot of different types of mobs in this room. And we don't want to clear the room because we may need them for the book quest. So I want to try my best not to do that. And we only need 4 of them. They're not aggro, but there's aggro things around them. I'm gonna try to shoot with my bow. Okay. Oh no, they didn't come up. Oh, this isn't good. Okay. Right. Do not want to use an AoE here for sure. That's just a clay guardian, so probably going to be okay. What I'm going to do is go back to the top of the steps and let's see, put Stamper on where maybe he doesn't run down and stop them. Let's try that. Don't know if this is going to work. So we need 2 more. You know what? I'm going to have to get him first. backed into the corner here, but I think that seemed to work okay. Okay. Kiva belonged to the family of bear watchers of her village. She looked forward to sitting the long watches of the night with her spear by her side, guarding the village. Kiva loved sitting just outside the edge of the camp's firelight to gaze upon the stars. Though growth was upon them, the nights were still long, crisp and clear, and the stars so bright she felt as though she could reach out her hand to touch them. All right, see, now we need to kill 4 of these clay chanters, and we are going to do the same thing. I am just going to see if they're all linked here. Okay, we're going to end up getting the creator as well. He is a named. Doesn't look like we're going to get much of a choice. So, let me go ahead and pull these up. And Stamper stayed below. Okay, so let's do this. Too much of a choice here. Let's focus on the named. Ouch. All right, let's go back up on the stairs before we read the book again. I need to set Stamper correctly here. It was my bad. Okay, we'll leave him for now. Go to the next part. One night, as she sat watch, she heard a rustling sound in the nearby brush and stood, gripping her spear. "Who's there?" she called, cautiously approaching the area. But she saw nothing but the tracks of a bear in the light crust formed on top of the snow. Furrowing her brow, she resolved to keep a closer eye on the village and not on the skies. All right, so now we need 6 more clay guardians. So let's leave and go get that. Get back here. During her watches now, Kiva thought about Benno. He was not of her village. His voice had an odd inflection she could not place, but he spoke Halasian, as did she, and he was very handsome. Gazing upwards into the stars, she wondered where he came from and whether she might see him again. At that moment, she heard rustling in the woods again, where that bear had left its tracks. Kiva grabbed her spear and edged her way toward the noise, careful not to make any sound. Okay, now we have to get 4 spirited tomes. Now, there's 2 rooms for these tomes. Let's see if we're close to one of them. I mean, this is the Tome of Life, but to get there we have to pass quite a lot of crap. This is the Tome of Death. So maybe we have to do both, but let's head on over to the Tome of Death, because that's the room we need to pick up part 3 anyway, so that's going to work out. This is the room. There's the Tome of Death. Let's go ahead and focus on that. We're going to get everything. So, here we go. Left. All right. Good job, Stamper. Now, we're looking for a red book on the shelf for part 3. That's a blue book. One of these red ones over here, perhaps? There it is, Blood of the Bear, Part 3. Fantastic. So, I'm going to go ahead and put that one down there. And I need one more spirited tome, which means we need to go to the other room, which is clear over here. So, let's get going. I'll be back when I get closer to there. Let's go ahead and see who comes. Yes, he's there. Okay, cool. Nice. All right, we should have cleared the room. All right, to get to the Room of Life here, we gotta go right in here. And there it is, the Tome of Life. All right, let's do this. the tomes that we needed. Why is he hiding back there? Nice. Okay. And Benno stood at the edge of the woods. He smiled at her. I hope you do not mind. I wanted to see you again. Kiva blushed, and Benno stepped closer. When I first saw you sitting here beside your fire and looking to the sky, I knew you are a dreamer, as am I, he said. Suddenly, they heard a bear in the undergrowth nearby. Okay, now we need to kill 6 more clay dudes. Alright, these 2 ought to do. Kiva gripped her spear and looked toward the noise, but Benno put his hand on her arm. The bears do not come to kill, they come to look, he said softly. Some say the bears come to find a mate among the Northmen so they may share their strength. A large, shaggy bear emerged from the woods, looked at Kiva and Benno, and then lumbered away. Alright, now we need to kill 4 forge embers. No idea where those are. Let's see if we just put ember here. Where is that? Okay, way down over there. So we are going to head that way. The embers and the sparks and the tenders share spawn. So we just need to keep killing until we get our embers. It could take a while. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait up here, and then whatever spawns we will deal with. Well, it took a while, everybody, but our last forge ember has just popped. So let's do this. You see? He did not come to harm you." Benno smiled and slipped into the woods with a quick wave. Though she looked for him again over the next few days, Kiva did not see him. Kiva began to think she had hit her head that day and fell with her firewood and imagined him in a being. All right, we need some more guardians. There you are. That is the end of the first book. And we're going to start part 2. Though the horde had not yet come to their village, Kiva's people were prepared. With the growth season upon them, they knew that ways previously impassable were now easier to access. They had dug in defensive trenches lined with sharply spiked branches and stakes. They had watches every night, both for the bears that were awakening and for any sign that the horde might be advancing their way. All right, now we need to move to Enchanted Lands and get some turtles. Be right back once I get there. Kiva was near the river gathering more wood when she again saw Benno. He stood at the edge of the melting ice, staring intently into the water. Before Kiva could call out a greeting, Benno reached into the water and with a quick swipe of his hand knocked a fish onto the icy shore. All right, we need 8 sprites. Not the maidens, we need the sprites. Here we go. We got a couple anyway. Take it. Oh, fairy eye, fantastic. In order to get the sprites to spawn, you need to kill the badgers, the grove badgers and the deer. They all share the same spawn. At first I thought it would be the other fairies, so I killed I don't know how many, and I didn't get these sprites to spawn. So what I'm going to do now is kill a few deers and badgers, and we are going to see what happens from that. We just need, oh, there it is, right here. There's our last sprite, hopefully. I don't know, it's going to want me to get him again, but we'll see. Alright, let's read the book. As he picked up the fish, Benno noticed Kiva watching him. I have never seen anyone fish that way before, she said, coming closer. Benno laughed and bade her stand back from the icy edge. He braced himself on the riverbank and stared into the black water. He stood still for so long, Kiva wondered whether he had frozen in place. Suddenly, he bent forward, darting his hand at the water and flinging another fish to the shore. Alright, now we need to just kill 7 young grove badgers. Now that we've actually exterminated them all, pretty much, let's go look on the other side of the island. Here. That is how we fish in my clan, Benno said, picking up the fish and putting it into a rough bag he had at his belt. Kiva laughed and said, I have never seen that before. Your clan must not be from around here. Benno glanced at her and said, No, it is not. He turned to leave and then said hesitantly, Are you curious to see where my clan is from? Well, everybody, I'm going to leave the episode here. Thank you for joining me. Please catch part 2, and we will continue with the second book and then the third. Please give a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and hope to see you next time. Take care all. Bye-bye now.